Xbox Game Pass subscribers will have to wait 12 months or more for some of Ultimate's biggest releases. Microsoft reveals how long standard subscribers will have to wait to play games like Black Ops 6. Microsoft says those who subscribe to its Game Pass standard tier won't see day one game releases for up to a full year, if not longer, after they launch. Xbox clarified what day one releases will look like going forward in a recent Xbox Wire post. While Game Pass Ultimate players will continue to see brand new experiences launch on the service at no additional cost, those who subscribe to the standard tier will wait up to 12 months or more to see those same titles arrive. Microsoft first revealed Standard in July as an option without day one releases, leaving many fans to wonder how long they would have to wait. Now we know. Some games coming to Game Pass Ultimate, day one games or other game entries, will not be immediately available with Game Pass Standard and may be added to the library at a future date, can be up to 12 months or more, and will vary by title. Microsoft explained today. We'll continue to share with all Game Pass members when games are being added and available to play for each plan. Game Pass Standard is set to go live in the coming months and follows a series of price increases also announced in July. When Standard does arrive, it will leave Xbox players with four options to choose from: Core for $9.99 a month, Standard for $14.99 a month, PC for $11.99 a month, and Ultimate for $19.99 a month. So while console owners looking to save $5 per month may find that Standard tier enticing, they should know that they'll have to wait quite a bit longer to play highly anticipated titles like Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Mm.
We'll learn more about how Standard operates when it arrives. Microsoft has tweaked its Game Pass offerings more than a few times, so if you're still confused about how it all works, you can read our breakdown here. Then be sure to see why the FTC wasn't happy with the recently announced price increase and why some analysts think they were inevitable. Okay, so getting comments. Real Frowns goes, that's why you just get Game Pass Ultimate or Game Pass for PC and enjoy the day one editions. This year in total, there's something like nearly 50 day one editions in total. Definitely makes it worth the extra cost. Star Ocean Blue goes, not per year, maybe 1 month or 2 months a year, but it isn't worth $240 a year. And there's a couple replies to that. Zero goes, is it worth $240 for you a year for you? Worth value subjective. The beauty here is that there is a choice. Nobody is forcing you to sub to Game Pass. Do not buy your do not buy your games if you want. Nobody is stopping you. Don't take the choice away from others. Neo05 goes, I have 3 years prepaid till August 2027, but at a significant discount. It's not worth $240 a year. That's almost double what I paid for 3 years. And
Mm.
Zero goes, not worth $240 a year for you. And Alkalive, now Narrative 4 goes, for most.
Mm.
Okay, can I go first?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, someone has to buy me a ruler and then give me a trip to Microsoft headquarters,
Mm.
um, so I can smack the hands of the executives making these decisions, like I'm a priest in Catholic school and their students misbehaving. Um, Seriously, two $240 a year. That's the price. 2 years and you could buy a whole new console.
Easily, especially the S series.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe if there's a big release coming out that you were anticipating, it's worth it for a month here, a month there. But yeah, it's not worth it for $20 a month. I'm sorry. I'd rather spend $20 a month on retro games, but then again, that's me. Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, and then the standard, you have to wait a year or more. I don't think you get cloud gaming with standard. So, like, if you want to play like an Xbox Series title, which that does have cloud gaming, you can't do it on standard. You have to get Ultimate or PC, maybe PC also. Um, so it's kind of yeah. I think Microsoft just went back on what they said they would said did what they said they would not do.
Yeah, increase the prices.
Yeah. Because standard honestly is just not worth it. Um, but You know, it's just this is. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, at the point, maybe it is better just to buy the game. That way, you could play it, and if even if you can only start, I'll take Yakuza, like a Dragon Gaiden or Yakuza like a Dragon. Um, that game, it takes a lot of hours. I put a lot of hours into it, and I only got halfway through the game.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's better just to buy that game and play it. That way, you can play at your own pace. You're not playing against the clock. Like, oh, I gotta get through this game so I can get to the next one on my list I want to try. Or just use it as a rental service. Okay, there's a bunch of games I want to try. I'm gonna play them all once, and then I'll buy the games that I want. So I just have to pay one time instead of $20 a month repeatedly. Because I mean, this is what gaming is going to be uh, in the future. That I don't like. It's going to be a service, and while it's convenient on one hand, it's not going to be that wallet friendly.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, you're right.
Do you have anything else to add or?
I wanted to say this though: the delays of the 12-month wait, I think that's ridiculous right there because you're telling people to spend $20 for a whole 12 months with nothing major coming out. Oh, sure, there'll be like new releases coming out the Game Pass every so often, every couple of months or whatever, especially the independently owned games or independent games like that White Noise or Creepy Pasta, whatever the fuck that game was called. I talked about the other month or two that came out last month or two. And that's about it, really. But that's it. Those are independent games for like $14 here, $10 there, $20 there, and you're gonna play for a couple of hours at a time. I will admit that. I played the game called The Good Times or something like that. It's like where you walk around the city and at nighttime everyone turns to dogs and cats and shit. I actually played a good gameplay of that last year or two. It was pretty good. But it's no longer on the Game Pass for over a year and a half now, and I always want to get on. It was on sale, but the average price for that game was about 50, $60. It's an independent, not 50 bucks. Like I was got like 40 bucks, I guess, around that time. Still, that's a regular price for that game. I'm like, damn. It's not an S tier, A tier type of game like that of a Call of Duty or Battlefield, or whatever. It's just an independently made game. I will support the developer. I spent 40 bucks for that, but then again, it's like I remember when it's on sale because with the Game Pass or the Game Ultimate Pass, whatever it's called, you get discounts on them. So yeah, it's worth it. Depends on how much you play the Xbox. And the more you play the Xbox, the better your offer is. I'll spend that 20 bucks, 14 bucks, whatever it was. But not for no 12 months of nothingness or near nothing.
Yeah, yeah. You're getting really nothing if you pick the standard tier. Um,
Hey, better get a 9.99 one for the play online. That's about it.
yeah, I mean, yeah. So at least you can play your games online, and you can play if you have any games from Games with Gold, you can play those, and you can play the Corsa section, which has like between 35 and 40 games.
Yeah. And you get 25 free games to choose from to play every so often too. Depends on how much they rotate that library out.
Well, I don't. Well, they only rotate that library out like about 3 times a year, but they said I think it was 35.
Okay.
And whatever it is, you do get like a few dozen, 2 or 3 dozen free games. Well, not free, but 2 or 3 dozen games. And like I said, Overcooked 2, Ninja Turtle, Shredder's Revenge. Um, I forgot other games that were in that there. I'm not even sure if they're still there. But I was like, okay, State of Decay 2, I think was in there in these game section that was included in Game Pass Core. And it's kind of like, okay, I do see value in this. 9.99 a month. Plus, you get to play whatever games you had, games with gold that are locked if they're an Xbox One game. Um,
If I recall, Triple J, while referring to the 25 game section, that's if you paid 10.99 or 9.99 at the time. I was talking
yeah,
about earlier this year. The one you're referring to must be something like that of 14.99.
no,
You
no,
know?
no, no. We just it might be 25 games. I forget. The nine. I was referring to the 9.99, but I just thought it was 35 games, not 25.
Okay, because you don't get those top tier games with the 9.99 a
They
month.
they were they were there at first.
Yeah, that's like 5 years ago, maybe.
No. When Game Pass, when not 5 years ago, that's a little facetious, but um, when Game Pass Gold, when games with gold disappeared and finally died a slow, agonizing death
Yes.
and turned to Game Pass Core, these were the game. I looked at the game list that was going to be mentioned, and I do remember writing about these games as these are the games that are that these are the games I care about that are being released with Game Pass Core. So if they're not there anymore, they were at least reported to be included in the Game Pass Core section when Game Pass Core was unveiled.
I'll just say.
That's yeah. So I mean, I could look up my blog and see if because I wrote about the games that I cared about that was in that list. But like I said, it may be 25. I might be remembering it as 35 for some other reason.
Yeah, 35 is just too much. That means you had to have add the other regular tier games as well, if you can think of any.
Well, I mean, come on. If you got like Game Pass Ultimate, there's like 350 games to choose from.
Something
Uh,
like that, yeah.
so it's like a 10% of that library. Oh, okay, maybe you're right. Maybe it was 25. But then again, I do remember more games being added, but I never heard about other games being taken away. So I'm figuring, you know, if it started with 25, I know of at least one time they added more games. So it'd be like about 30 if they didn't take any away.
I see what you mean. Okay.
So yeah, so it may have been 25. But yeah, like, and I remember like Overcooked 2, which is I think made by an independent developer. Um, Turtles: Shredder's Revenge was there. Um, so yeah, maybe Game Pass Core is the way to go. If you play online or just want to play your games with gold, so you don't have to buy them again. Um, but yeah, Game Pass Ultimate, $20 a month. No, I ain't doing that.
Okay.
Anything else, Ed, or ready to move on?
For me, is this. I will admit that I've been paying on and off for the last 6 months of called Game Pass Ultimate, but when they increased the price to $20.99, I got the an alternative website, or a call alternative website for the matter. But even that, depends on what credit card company you use for that site too. So people are the credit card companies are clamping down on these go-to sites to get discounts at. So good luck trying to find a decent credit card company that wants to accept your transaction with that particular alternative.
Right.
So so they're trying to make people go towards the mainline selection of games like that, Xbox and Sony PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, and all, instead of just going to alternatives. So
Yep.
no more
Uh,
Green Bay Gaming, no more Steam if ever at this rate. Depends on how you look at it.
yep.
So eventually, they're going to have to. People on Steam, of course, will revolt somehow. Someone they'll try to convince the Valve to stop doing that, denial of access to alternative keys and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
so that's all I gotta say.